Are you on a forklift?
Yeah, yeah.
You are a son of a bitch.
Un saluto a
Hey.
tutti.
Ciao, everybody. Welcome back to the All Juve Cast channel where it's all Juve all the time. I got Mirko with me today. Mirko, do you like the new intro video? You saw yourself in the
Absolutely. With my blonde hair, and I
Yeah.
don't, I don't hear the Super Saiyan. No.
No
I'm
more
come
Super
back
Saiyan.
normal, very normal.
I love that. I love that. We're gonna have some fun today. It's very, very early my time. This is when we do the shows, and it's your day off. So thank you for coming here, Mirko. We're gonna have some fun. We're gonna talk about Juventus and players and go through the roster because obviously a lot has changed. There's a lot of uncertainty around Juventus and whatnot. But we'll get your thoughts on basically all the players, where they stand, contracts, renewals, what could happen given some of the circumstances. Okay, so we're gonna have a little fun just like that. Okay, and nothing too intense. We just start with some of the players on the roster. Pinsolio, Mirko, what's going
Ah,
on? I hear Pinsolio. That's it for Pinsolio this year with Juventus.
Pinsoglio, no? For the first thing, I would to greetings everybody, ciao a tutti, and it's always a great pleasure here to be with you and your followers, your Juventini, and I appreciate that in five. What time is it? Five.
Oh yeah,
Five.
yeah, 5:45 a.m.
No, no,
here.
no, no, no. You are very crazy in my in my opinion. You are very crazy, but it's always a great pleasure for you. Pinsoglio, very fine. Pinsoglio, he play one match in year maybe, and he is always present in the team, in the squad, with his personality, his role, and in my opinion, he could be continue with Juventus for another year. Because
Okay.
in this moment the management not planning have not planning with Pinsoglio. Pinsoglio is without agent, he represented him himself, and always in my opinion there could be a meeting, a planning in the final of this season, because in Juventus in this moment is very difficult with everything about extra campo, extra field, okay, and there is no planning with him for the renewal of the contract in this moment. But
Okay.
I'm very sure that could be for another year, in my opinion.
Yeah, so you think he'll get a renewal for 1 year? Okay.
Esatto, exactly. Sì.
One year renewal expecting for Pinsolio. Pedin 2025. Does he remain happy being that number two to Chesney?
Maybe for me, Perin could be became the number one because I don't see Chesney for many years in Juventus. His contract expires in 2024, and Juventus could be earn a lot of money for him because Chesney is the one of the 5 or 10 first goalkeeper in Europe, and maybe some club in Premier League could be a good offer for you. In my opinion, Perin could become the first, and Juventus could buy a new keeper, for example, Carnesecchi. I like a lot of his style of the play, or Vicario. Vicario with Carnesecchi is two of the greatest in this moment keeper in Italy.
Yeah. Has there been more contacts between Juventus and Carnesecchi or Vicario? Has there been more contacts?
Not directly with their club, but is without a problem because Juventus could be buy this player with with a rapporto, come si dice rapporto, with a good office
Okay.
with Cremonese and Empoli.
Yeah, they have a good relationship there.
Okay,
Okay.
a good relationship. Carnesecchi is a keeper on loan of Atalanta, for example, and could be in this moment more buy respect to Vicario, because for Vicario, Empoli want 50 or 20 millions for him in this moment.
Do you expect any clubs to come in for Szczesny, you think? Maybe in the summer?
Maybe clubs of Premiership, Premier
Yeah.
League. Szczesny have 32 years. This year he have 33, and he could give the last contract, or one of the last contract important. He stay very well in Juventus. He played with Arsenal, and I don't expect he finished his career in Juventus. Yesterday I read again Donnarumma. I don't see Donnarumma in concrete mode, but Juventus is researching in this moment the keeper, the figure of keeper could be the guarantee the new future. Okay, and in my opinion, a new keeper of Juventus could be Italian player in this moment.
Okay, there you go. Yeah, because Pedin's got contract to 2025. Szczesny goes into his final one, and like you said, Vicario, Carnesecchi, they're going to look there.
Yes.
With everything going on, the uncertainty with Juventus, how much has actually changed in terms of what you were hearing before as far as future moves and potential players and whatnot? Did it all kind of shut down completely, or is there still quite a few discussions happening with players for the future?
It's very difficult to planning in this moment the potentially players for the future, because the situation of Juventus are very difficult to explain in this moment. Juventus will play in two matches, okay, in Serie A, in Europa League, in Coppa Italia, and out of the field, and this complicate the plan. Juventus had the plan for a mercato of January, but what are succeed in the past, in the recent past, with the CDA, with the sentence, have destroyed this plan, or better, destroyed in that moment and remained for the future. But I don't know in concrete mode what can be succeed from here with June, no, with the month of June. Juventus, I don't know if could be earn the qualification of Europe, if Juventus could be win Europa League or Coppa Italia, if Juventus could be penalized with other 20 points, or if Juventus could be win the sentence in Collegio of Garanzia CONI, and maybe Juventus could be returning in third position of the classific of today. I don't know. Is a very point of question, in my opinion.
Yeah, we just have to take it one day at a time and just wait and see. Bremer. Bremer has a contract to 2027. Any
Bremer.
news on Bremer as far as he's one of the players fans are concerned if we were to suffer more penalties or potentially not be playing in Europe next season, that he might ask to leave or whatnot? Do you have any insight or any intel on Bremer?
Today is unsellable.
Yeah.
Okay, Bremer with other many players. For Juventus, that players are unsellable. But it's always the same explain the same
Yeah.
explain of before. I don't know if Juventus next year is out of Europe, or Juventus will be in a condition of make 2 or 3 a big sell. Okay, I don't know if Bremer, if the one of this player that could go out in this moment, because Bremer he earn a good job. He is doing good job in my opinion, and if I think Juventus in Europe next year, Bremer could be a player of the central role in defense with Danilo and other mate.
Yeah. Do you think with will have more teams been fishing around these untouchable players for Juventus since all these problems have kind of come up? Like Vlahovic, Chiesa, Bremer, these guys that are supposed to be untouchable. Since the investigations and the problems, do you think teams are going to try to capitalize and come in maybe in the summer for those untouchable players?
Definitely yes, because Juventus have many players of untouchable, of unsellable. I think Chiesa, I think Bremer, I think Locatelli, for example.
Yeah.
I think the youngest stars as Miretti or Fagioli. I think, for example, Dusan Vlahovic. There are many players, but today we are talking about Juventus in a mid position, okay, and maybe in 1 month we could talk about Juventus third or second in position, because in my opinion the Scudetto aiutami, è già del Napoli,
Yeah, the
okay,
Scudetto is a one-horse race this year. Yeah.
okay. Is Juventus is in any way out of the race of Scudetto, but Juventus could be with very easy the qualification of Europe. And if Juventus obtain this opportunity, the 90%, 95% of these players today remain in Juventus in next year too.
Yeah. Hey, speriamo that in another month or so we talk about them being higher up, right?
Or like say my friend, sperem in Latino.
Yeah.
Sperem. Okay.
So we have Omer coming in. What's the feeling? So now we're doing defenders. Bonucci. Bonucci's got one more year on his contract to 2024. Is the feeling with him, he's getting close to return? Today, Allegri said for Thursday in Europa League, Bonucci should be back. Is the feeling around Bonucci's return considered the same as it was before the injury? Or is he going to go back? Because before the injury, we started to see Max not use him in the big games. But do you think that's going to change now with him coming back?
For me, in my opinion, Bonucci could go out in Juventus next year, or he could expire this contract in 2044 and 2024, and there aren't the many possibilities of the renewal of contract. In my opinion, I heard these rumors, this voice, and in this moment, Bonucci is not of the part of starting in 11 in Juventus. Is Bremer, Danilo, and Alexandro, and Allegri would play with the defense of three, and Bonucci, that with Barzagli and Chiellini are the main parties of the defense today, is not the starter. And for me, with very difficult could go in the next future, in 1, 2, 3 weeks, returned of this party, because Allegri has find the right position for Danilo, for Alexandro, and for Bremer.
Yeah. Okay. And then you expect Bonucci to be there next season and just see his contract out, no renewals or anything?
Or next season, or he's going as Quadrado, as Alexandro, as Rabiot, and in scadenza, non so come si dice, in scadenza, and
expiry of the contract.
Expiry this contract.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Now, Gatti, we heard we were going to see much more of him in the second half of the season and whatnot, but one shaky performance and whatnot. What are the feelings around Gatti and Juventus? Does Juventus still rate him very high? He's under contract to 2027. What's the feelings around Gatti?
Juventus believes in his qualities. Gatti is a potential good defense, but in this moment he go to earn a plus experience. Okay, he plays in one of the Juventus more difficult respect 3 or 4 years ago, and he could be alone next year. I don't know, in mid or a team that fighting for Europe, or that fighting for remain in Serie A, as like Fagioli. For example, like Fagioli last year, he went in Cremonese, and he came back very improved for the qualities, and he has 24 years. He could back 26, and with Danilo, with another mates, could be a new starter with regularity for me.
Yeah, but Gatti, okay, but there is potential, maybe a loan next season, maybe. Okay, Danilo,
Yes.
The renewal should be getting done pretty soon, right? To 2026.
Yes. I confirm this news. 2026, quindi 2 years respect to the expired dated 2024. Juventus believes in his qualities, but Danilo is a very leader of this team, one of leaders, and Juventus want this his qualities is presented for 3 years, substantially, no? Because Danilo could be an example for the youngest star of Juventus, for Miretti, Fagioli, Gatti, and
Yeah. Okay. Now these two, we're gonna put them together. Rugani and De Sciglio. Rugani has a contract 1 more year. De Sciglio has 2, 2025. We were hearing a lot of rumors in the winter about Rugani being moved and then it never happened. De Sciglio, I don't even know why he's been out for so long. Can we expect these guys beyond this year to still be at Juventus?
Yes, for me, yes, because both of these players, Rugani and De Sciglio, are I don't tell happy, okay, but they accept this situation. Rugani and De Sciglio don't have the maximum ambition of to be a starter in every match. Allegri appreciate this their think, okay, and they are two gregaries, like in the past, non so, Padoin or another players. Juventus of these years will be componented with Rugani and Sciglio. I don't think for their sell, because it's very very difficult for sell Rugani and Sciglio.
Yeah.
Rugani earns 3 millions and De Sciglio earns 1.5 millions, and their value is a lot of money. They're very little. Rugani 3-4 millions, maybe 5, and De Sciglio 3-4. Okay, is very difficult, very very difficult.
Yeah. Okay. Paredes and Rabiot, 100% gone in the summer.
Okay, Paredes, yes, and I worked with yesterday with this truck, and I know that the Juventus and PSG talked about Paredes 2 years ago, because Pasquale Sensibile, I don't know if you remember, but Pasquale was a capo scout of Juventus many years ago. Now Pasquale work with PSG, and 2 years ago Pasquale are talked with the players and with Juventus. Okay, Pasquale was in Continassa, and he watched the training of the club, of the team, and in my opinion is very difficult, because for two big reasons. One is 22-25 millions that Juventus won't in this moment give for there, okay, and Paredes earns 7 millions, 6-7 millions, and is a very very lot for this stipendio, okay.
Yeah.
Rabiot, there will be a meetings for I think 1 month, next month, and for me it's very very difficult, because Rabiot want 10 millions 2 year, and Juventus in this moment have changed their politically for their planning, and 10 millions represented a big money.
Yeah.
Many money.
He wants 2 years at 10 million per year.
2 years, and wait, 10 millions for him, and maybe a lot of money more for their mom. Exactly, for to seeing the new contract. Is a very very difficult for many clubs in Italy. Is a suicide for me. Is a suicide in Premier League. No, Premier League in this moment could be a guarantee 10, 20, 30, 30. No more. No.
That's a lot. That's a lot. We got Dom coming in here with the question. It wants to know what the feeling is of Vlahovic in Turin, because some fans, they feel he hasn't lived up to the price tag, 70 plus million. and some think he's not happy maybe with the play based on body language over his frustrations. He's been out for a while though with the injury. Are there any signs that Vlahovic maybe is not happy at Juventus?
No. He's false. He's false. He is very happy,
Good.
and he dreamed to play in a big club. Juventus is a big club in Europe, and for a Serbian player, Juventus represented the top of the club. Maybe if Dusan Vlahovic is the pronounced, okay. If Vlahovic was another nationality, okay, maybe prefer the Premier League or another club. But the relationship, okay, between the Serbian players and the Italian teams is very strong. And so I think Dejan Savicevic for Milan, I think Darko Kovacevic, the Romeo Agresti's love player Juventus, okay, and he chose Juventus last year, okay, and in the plan, Arsenal guaranteed many lot of money, okay, for his contract. He's very competitive. Vlahovic described me is youngest Cristiano Ronaldo. He's very competitive. He wants always win. He wants always to make goal. And his former coach, Zarko Lazetic, okay, Lazetic described me Vlahovic with this example, and is very curious for me. No? In 16, okay, is the day of the birth of 16th of Dusan. Dusan asked his former coach, Coach Zarko, today is my birth. I don't want in jockey. I don't want to play with my mates. I don't want to be fun with with other players. No, I want to train because I want to train and I want to improve my qualities. Okay, in 16. And I think I'm in 16. I don't thought these things, no. I thought to have fun with my mates, my friends, and etc. No, and this example for me to understand better, like is Dusan Vlahovic today. Dusan Vlahovic today, when for example after the match of Monza, Vlahovic for me doesn't play well. Okay, he looks like very pesante, non mi ricordo pesante. Looks
heavy. Yeah.
Okay, heavy. It looks like heavy. It looks like out of condition. Okay.
Yeah.
He came back in the dress room. Is very unhappy for his plays with have to play with my mates, etc. And he fought, and after day, okay, the Monday, he came back surely to repeat that he had played. Scusami, te lo dico in italiano perché mi sto un po' confondendo. Il giorno dopo lui è tornato al campo di allenamento e subito si è messo a lavorare, subito, perché non sopportava che lui aveva giocato male.
Okay, so the day after he played that poor performance, he went immediately to training the next day and started working immediately. That's essentially what Mirko was saying about Vlahovic, and it's just into his mentality of always wanting to work and whatnot. But that's good and promising for the Juventini to hear that he is happy at Juventus and whatnot. So that's great to hear. Everybody's getting nervous about him because we feel teams are going to come in, like you said, that list of untouchable players for Juventus with the circumstances and the uncertainty. many Juventini, they're scared. They're scared that big clubs are going to come in and try to take these guys, Vlahovic and
Absolutely.
Chiesa, So hopefully he's happy and he wants to remain regardless of the circumstances, right? We have to wait and see what happens first. But that's good insight into Vlahovic. Where should we go now? Let's talk about Sule. Sule's not getting a lot of time, but Sule is a talented young player. 2026 is his contract. Do you expect him to go to on loan next season?
No, but without Di Maria, in very difficult that Di Maria could renew the contract with Juventus. Without Di Maria, Sule could be a new players with their qualities in Juventus squad. And I know that this last summer 2 or 3 clubs of Serie B wanted Sule on loan this year, but Juventus are not convinced of for this formula, and Juventus with this formula loan have to do this opportunity for other players, for example Rovella, for example Ranocchia, but not Sule. Okay, Sule was remain in the first team, and he continues for this in next year, in my opinion.
Okay, so he's going to stay and continue next season. Miretti going to stay and continue with the first team next season?
Could be because I don't talk with you, and I think in this moment without Rabiot, the midfield of Juventus will be composed of Locatelli, of Fagioli, of Miretti, maybe Rovella, maybe Ranocchia, but it's very little difficult, and other midfielder. Quindi yes, in my opinion, Miretti could stay like Fagioli next year.
Yeah, there were rumors yesterday saying that Rovella will be part of the team next season. Have you heard that he's going to be integrated?
Absolutely. Yeah. There is this chance. Without the redeem of Paredes, Juventus should be search the player with these qualities, and Juventus have in-house Nicola Rovella, and is right the opportunity, the chance of Rovella next year.
Yeah. So we've got some midfielders coming back too, potentially, like Zakaria, Artur, and whatnot. Like, do you expect Juve to immediately just try and move them all over again? And even Weston McKennie is not for sure a sale. So,
but I don't consider it these 3 players because Artur and Zakaria, Juventus will be moved to research the better situation for him. And McKennie, from my source, is very from the source close to Leeds. The UFC want to redeem Weston McKennie, and I don't think in this moment the Leeds could be in a championship, could be retrocesso in championship, and is very could be to succeed, but Leeds in this moment is 16-17, no?
Yeah, they're struggling to stay up. So you think if that must essentially be the criteria from a protection standpoint, McKennie. If they get relegated, he doesn't want to stay.
Relegated,
Yeah,
exactly. And
yeah,
it's true that Marsh is not more the coach of Leeds,
yeah.
but McKennie, if you see the matches of Leeds, I've seen the Manchester United Leeds 2-2. Uh, 4 or 5 days ago, and I see like McKennie is very utilized for the new coach, and he have 3 or 4 months to confirmated the redeem for Leeds. In my opinion, if very possible this.
Still possible. Okay, because a lot of people were thinking with Marsh obviously no longer there that he was the one that probably wanted McKennie, that might stall things, but Leeds still wants him. So it just depends on
Exactly.
if they can stay up or not. So, okay, that's good to know too. All right, we got a question. We knew this was going to come. Allegri 2027. Is there a possibility Allegri departure? We don't have any management team at all. We just have the new board of directors. Maybe you could shed some light if they have any ideas of when they're going to name a management team and a sporting director. Will we wait till the summer for all that to take place? And is there any chance of Allegri leaving?
Today or in last weeks, Italian medias to wrote many informations about the possible renewal of Allegri. In my opinion, today talk about the renewal of Allegri is very difficult.
Yeah,
and we came back to explain after talk is a point of question. Allegri today have 2 years to contract with Juventus. He signed a contract with 2024-25, 4 years, and in this moment Allegri stays the coach of Juventus. If Juventus consider it finished the relationship with Allegri this season for 1000 motivation of different motivations, would be they affiliate the bench to other coach, and maybe it could be married the project and the coach, because in this moment coach and project are not the same.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, difficult to see right now. And again, like a lot of things with Juventus, we have to wait. We have to wait and see. This is an interesting question from Bikramjeet. We've talked about Vlahovic already a couple times, but the last part of his question is very interesting. Isn't it better to sell him and get money? Is there any possibility for you? You said he's untouchable. Juventus will not want to sell Vlahovic in any case, even if there were, let's say, some. We don't want to think this way, but say they suffer more penalizations, more penalties. Do you think that they might think about selling him if they get more trouble out of these?
In this moment, no. In this
Okay.
moment, Juventus aren't think to sell Dusan Vlahovic, and Dusan Vlahovic have different appreciator, appreciator. Arsenal clubs of Premier League in generally. Okay, I think that Arsenal next mercato, or maybe Tottenham, maybe Manchester United, potentially to make a big offer of Dusan, and for other strikers of Serie A. I think, for example, Osimhen. Osimhen today is the biggest talent in Serie A for his performance, and could go out for a big offer of one of these clubs in Premier League. But Vlahovic in this moment, like I said before, is totally unsellable. Totally unsellable. Poi, if in the month of June Juventus are very difficult this situation, and to make for strength of force 2 or 3 big sell, okay, maybe we think about the possibilities of Vlahovic, and we work it again for this situation. But today I can you confirmated that Vlahovic for I think 10-12 players is unsellable, totally unsellable.
Okay. So we got some more questions coming. We got Mirko for about another 5 minutes here before he has to go. Milik, Arcadius Milik.
Okay.
Will
Okay.
Juve redeem him, or is it still uncertain?
Is very very big chance for
Okay.
his redeem, but I don't know with very appreciated the date of the meetings between Juventus management and the entourage of Milik. But I know is a feedback that I understand was very positive. Milik for the Redem, Juventus must pay 7 millions. One of these 8 millions Juventus paid last summer. And for OM, for Marsiglia, Milik to earn much money for stipendio, okay. And is Milik in Turin is very happy, is very appreciated for of Allegri. Allegri in summer between Milik and Depay, he chooses Milik, okay. We remember these things, and I think that Arkadiusz Milik will be a Juventus player next year for a long time for me.
All right. We got to get to some of these questions. So Anthony coming in here saying, Ital Juve. Who can we see looking at bringing more Italians to the club? Obviously, over the past couple days, Frattesi's name has been mentioned, but he wants Roma first. But today, again, more rumors saying that Juve is pursuing him still right now. What's the latest on Frattesi? And what about Scalvini?
Juventus, this rumors of Mercato is not an exclusive, but is an info that I talk with you in this moment. But Juventus with very other clubs in Europe, in Italy, in Spain, for example, Atletico Madrid, have talked with the entourage of Scalvini in last month of October. Sorry, of October. Okay.
October.
And he very appreciate for Juventus management when Scalvini played very well in the settore giovanile, and Juventus talked with him with Atalanta, but in this moment there are zero contacts with the clubs for Scalvini. Frattesi wants to join Rome, and he make a lot of part of him to go in at Rome next year. Juventus is on the background, okay, is on the sullo sfondo, is on the background, okay, right?
Yeah.
And with another teams like Brighton. Today we must consider this. Juventus don't have many lot of money to inmated in the mercato, and Carnevali, the sports director of Sassuolo, want to him 35-30 million. Okay, is a price very very high for Frattesi, and think this potentially operation will be very, very difficult for Juventus.
Yeah. The last question we're going to finish up because Mirko has to get going. I will continue live after just for everybody that's tuning in here. We could talk. You can
I
bring up
hope
more.
that my English is understand
Oh,
for
your
you.
English is strong, Mirko. Strong. He always gets nervous about it. Strong. Now,
thank you.
let's go. I want to ask you about some Juve next gen players. Dean Houston and Yildiz. Is there any opportunities? Do you think next season that they see first team for Juventus?
Interesting question. For me, no. Yildiz could be to have many chances to play in next gen. Okay, and Huijsen continues to play in next gen. Maybe if we created the chance like this year for with Ealing, for example, or with Barrenechea could be convocated with the first team for the match against Fiorentina. If Juventus created the chance, and I don't know, for injury, for every situation, okay, maybe Huijsen could be became for this role, okay, but in definitely for my opinion, both of Huijsen and Yildiz, both of these players continue to play with the regularity of the next gen, and I want to make my starting X11. If he's okay. I'm prepared the 11 names for my Juventus
all-time 11.
Okay,
all-time 11. I love it. We're gonna finish up with Mirko's all-time 11.
Okay. I want to play with 4-3-3. Okay, and I think Buffon as a keeper, defense with Thuram, that the CB. I think Cannavaro and Barzagli for the defense, and I think the first Alexandro for okay, first Alexandro, not this Alexandro. This Alexandro, no. But the first Alexandro,
15, yes. 16 Alexandro,
okay. Otherwise, I adapted many players. For example, Lickstein. Okay, but Stefan in
left back, yeah.
Okay, left back.
Yeah.
Okay, allora Buffon, Thuram, Cannavaro, Barzagli, and Alexandro. In midfield, Andrea Pirlo as regista, Zinedine Zidane, and I think Alessandro Del Piero, but Alessandro Del Piero in three of the midfield, no, but I can't play Alessandro Del Piero in this Juventus, no, absolutely. Pirlo, Zidane, Del Piero, with three strikers, Carlos Tevez, Cristiano Ronaldo, and my players, proprio David
your
Trezeguet.
favorite player ever.
My favorite players in the past was David Trezeguet, but one of my inspiration was Alessandro Del Piero. Quindi 4-3-3. Ok, quindi Buffon, Thuram, Barzagli, Cannavaro, Alessandro, Pirlo, Zidane, Del Piero, or 4-2-3-1, for example.
Yeah.
Cristiano Ronaldo, Tevez, and David Trezeguet.
Beautiful. I love that. Mixing it up. You have to put Del Piero in there. So he played 4-2-3-1. He's in behind the striker, behind Tevez there. That's a strong 11. I like it. I like it. And your favorite player, Trezeguet. Trezeguet, beautiful, beautiful.
Trezeguet, exactly.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. I want to thank for the donation here through Super Chat. I want to thank Mirko for taking the time to come out here. Look, Mirko, everybody appreciates it. Your English every time you come here, better and better and better. Okay, and every now and then when you have to talk in Italian, it gives me a little bit more practice too to keep trying. So I like it too. I like it too. It's
I speak in English only with Riccardo Carvalho, only with Riccardo and enough. And
there you go. Hey,
okay, only
it's
with
good. It's good. You
okay.
know, Dom makes a comment here that he couldn't imagine going and doing an interview in Italian and whatnot. So they all appreciate it. We all appreciate you coming by, Mirko. Again, it was too long since the last time you were on, and you were Super Saiyan. Now, are you ever going to go back to Super Saiyan, Mirko? Maybe for the
Maybe,
Mercado?
maybe I don't know, but I could be a think of Super Saiyan Blue.
Oh, there you go.
Maybe.
Beautiful, beautiful. Anyways, as always, we appreciate you taking the time. I know it's your day off, so an extra big thank you, Mirko, for coming on. Okay, we love having you on. We will make sure that it's not so long in between when we see you next time. Okay, thank
Big
you very
thank you
much.
for you. Big
Yeah, I'm
thank
going
you
to
for
let
you.
everybody know I'm going to stay here, and we'll review some more news, and you guys can get some more questions and we'll chat. I'll talk about the match day live we're doing tomorrow and the watch along. Mirko, any projects, anything you need to let everybody know about what you got going on and where they can find you? And Tutto Juve, you're doing fantastic interviews all the time with ex-players and current agents, everything. What do you have going on? Any new projects?
Day by day,
Day
and
by day.
day by day, because today is very a little difficult to speak very well about ex players for the situation, for the actual situation of Juventus. But I would be guarantee for my readers and for my personal work lovely interview, and I'm very happy for all you cast and you, Berto, read with the very kind, with very lovely this interview. Very
Thank you. Thank you.
grazie,
It's much
grazie.
appreciated. Much appreciated, my friend. We will let you go. Look at all the grande Mirkos in the comments. We appreciate you coming by, Mirko. And yeah, we will talk soon, my friend. Okay. I will let you go now, and then I'll reach out to you as soon as I'm done live. Okay. Thank you
When
again.
you want, I'm very available for you and for your Juventini that follow this very amazing TV. Ok,
Much
ciao, grazie.
appreciated. Much appreciated. Ciao,
Ciao, ciao.
Mirko. Ciao. Ciao. All right, everybody. So Mirko has wrapped things up. We had him for just a little over 45 minutes. Again, it's his day off, so absolutely massive. But he's always praising the work we do, and he loves the All Juve cast. And a nice little shout out to the AJC Army. He always has fun when he comes over and joins us. So a lot of interesting stuff if we're going to recap what he said on some of these players and everything. So he does not expect Szczęsny to wrap up his career at Juventus. Szczęsny enters the final year of contract. Perin will at some point take over the number one as he expects. Pinsolio should be getting a 1-year renewal. He isn't a problem. He's happy being the third string and only playing one game, and does have an impact as in the locker room and dressing room. Bremer, untouchable. Locatelli, untouchable. Chiesa, Vlahovic, untouchable. He also added the youngsters as untouchable in Juve's eyes. Miretti, Fagioli. So that's pretty cool to hear. Paredes, almost 100% gone in the summer. So good. Like, I mean, we're all in the same page here. Rabiot, interesting. He says There is going to be meetings next month, but expect him gone in the summer because he's not willing to budge from 2 years, 10 million per, plus there's supposed to be bonuses for Mama Rabiot. Well, that's going to be as good as gone. Mirko's words were funny too. He calls that a suicide if Juve were to take that. So Mirko's always great. He never holds back on his feelings. Appreciate that. Glad that you guys enjoyed. I asked for you just to like that video while you're here. Okay, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. But yeah, it's great stuff. Yes, Mirko loves being on the All Juve cast. His English, he always gets so nervous. It's funny. We talk, throughout the weeks. We always talk randomly, and he's always like, English, is English okay? Whatnot. Well, it gives me a chance to work on my Italian too when he does have to answer something Italian. So I love it. Anthony's getting pumped up that Perin could be a number one, maybe even next season, if not probably that final year for sure. And what else did he have? Milik, high chance of the redemption there. Sule should be remaining with the first team. We heard a lot about a loan potentially in this past winter mercado. Didn't happen. Sule wanted to fight for his minutes, and even if he wasn't getting a lot of minutes, wanted to stay. Sule should remain first team. Interesting thing about the returning players that Juventini are getting worried about, and that would be Zakaria, Artur, and McKennie and whatnot. Leeds wants McKennie, regardless of Marsh going. So the only thing that's hung up on essentially is if Leeds gets relegated or not. So that's interesting stuff. And good. That's a positive. But Artur and Zakaria will be not coming in and playing a part in the team whatsoever. I would think that potentially Zakaria could have been an option. Artur, it's been done for a while. He wanted out, and Juve's trying to find some. Obviously, the numbers there are what creates the big problem. But yeah, I don't expect Artur whatsoever. But Zakaria could have been potentially useful. I'm interested in hearing what the chat has to say. Does anybody else see him as maybe that potential big physical presence that Rabiot brings this season, and maybe he could offer that next? But Rovella, highly likely to be returning and integrated to the first team. Juventus, we love hearing that. In terms of the defense, potentially a loan next year for Gatti, but Juve does believe in his qualities. So we have to wait and see there. Bonucci, simply not a starter anymore, but he's contracted to 2024, and that'll probably just see his contract out, is what Mirko said, essentially, like all these other guys, Sandro, Quadrado, and whatnot. So there you have it. But else saying doesn't even think Zakaria wants to return. Dom saying bring back Zach. Alex P saying Zach was bad. Hope he doesn't come back. All right. So a little bit of mixed reviews there. In terms of the news today, everybody, Bonucci should be returning on Thursday for the Europa League, making the squad list. Before his injury, Max had dropped him from big games and playing in them. So do not expect Bonucci to come back. He's simply, like Mirko Di Natale said, he's just not a starter at Juve anymore. Pogba is out, and Max has no idea on time frame. He threw out 20 days in the presser, but he has no idea. He essentially said one day he is good, and then the other he is feeling complications. He is working with everything he has to get back in there, but yeah, it's not looking good. We just continue to sit there and wait on Paul Pogba. So that's essentially, in a nutshell, all the big key points out of that for the news or the press or anything. There's nothing really big there. He did say some words on Bremer, just saying that he didn't have the best match against Cremonese and Napoli, obviously, but he's just keeping him protected and saying that basically the team performed poorly and whatnot. But Bremer is not a concern for me. Yeah, that's pretty much it for the news, everybody. Trident, he said, Max Allegri said, tried the Trident, but there's no, we can play with 4 in the middle to continue the back 3, or with 3 midfielders in a back 4. It's important if they all play, they must sacrifice for the team. So he just doesn't really, he steers clear and deflects. So not really saying a whole bunch about this Trident and whatnot. Okay, so right there, he just deflected to, sure, we could play 4 in the middle, or play with the back 3 and have 3 in the middle. But whatever it is, they have to sacrifice for the team. And essentially didn't even answer the question about will we see the Trident. What we're expected to see is Vlahovic and Chiesa up top, still going to remain in that 3-5-2. The latest lineup, well, there is a rumor of the 3-4-3 with that Trident up top, but I don't necessarily, I don't know. I want to ask the chat, what would you guys do? Would you guys see as Fiorentina being the match to do it? I thought Salernitana was an opportunity for us to try something different, especially when you jump out to the lead and whatnot. Maybe in that second half we could have, but the points are crucial now. Fiorentina has been a tricky fixture for us over the past little bit. So I ask you, is this the time to try it? Is this the time to try it? We will see. Still talking about Zakaria there. Who knows? But feel like Chelsea don't want him. Juve doesn't want to spend much more over the summer. He could be there as a non-starter. I'm just saying, maybe, just maybe. Maybe, just maybe. Wayne saying Zach would have done great. I would take him way before Paredes. Paredes has been simply abysmal. Yeah. Just not seeing it's a shame for Max, because Max, like I said, we ended up moving Rovella away for one more season in order to bring this guy that Max wanted desperately, Paredes, in, and it has been a failure so far. So at this point, hindsight, of course, being 2020, you would have much rather have Rovella growing and continuing on with us and just being there for one season prior to moving forward even more with us. So it's going to be interesting. That could have probably given us more flexibility too in terms of lineup. Like Locatelli for me is a 2-man pivot midfielder. Rovella could be another 2-man pivot, but he's a little bit on the smaller side, but defensively still holds his own. And he continuously is high up there on tackles and successful tackles in games for them. So he's doing a good job, but size wise, yeah, not in stature, that physical guy you would expect to be all right in a 2-man pivot, but I think it would have been big. Fagioli, I want to talk about Fagioli potentially getting higher up could be something too. And I know Alex P has made shouts about that. I've seen them on Twitter and everything. And I think that's a great shout too. We should potentially be seeing him push higher up. Again, using 2 pivots out of your midfield and getting these guys further forward, and maybe getting Chiesa and Di Maria out of that trequartista-esque type role and put them out on the wings where they can do their damage. But Fagioli, FIFA players out there, Future Stars card, 88. Picked that up yesterday. Anybody else using it? Good stuff. Good stuff. But my weekend league, ooh, off to a brutal start yesterday. Anyways, we've recapped the news. We had a great interview with Mirko Di Natale. Always love having him on. The guys on Twitter are all over it. They've been posting the questions, Mirko's answers, and everything. So, wow, I was expecting to have to do it and recap it. But if you missed any of it and you're not going to watch this one through, head over there. It's going to be awesome. All right. So there's Lasso. Picked up the Fagioli card. Yes, absolutely. I'm going to let you know, Michael, because you're always asking the pro clubs AJC Army team will be set up today. All right, so we're going to set up the Pro Clubs team. All of you out there that are FIFA players can join in, and we're going to have some fun and take that baby straight to the top. All right, so again, everybody, thank you. Tomorrow's game plan. Here's tomorrow's game plan. We're going to do a match day live. I'm just making sure that times haven't changed, and I'm going to fill you in 100% on what we got, but there is going to be a match day live. Tomorrow, match day live is going to be at the regular time because so that'll be 5:30 a.m. my time, 8:30 a.m. Eastern time. The game is at 12, so noon Eastern time. I'm going to do a watch along. Okay, so at 8:30 a.m. Eastern time, you're going to have the match day live get here. We'll get hyped up. We're going to have some fun. We're going to bring some of the team in, talk about Juve Fiorentina, and probably talk about Mirko Di Natale and some of the words he had to say today. And then, of course, the watch along tomorrow at noon. All right. So, again, thank you, everybody, for being here. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. Hey, you found some interesting bits out of what Mirko Di Natale said today. Share the content. Okay, let's keep growing this AJC Army. So clip it. Yeah, do what you got to do. Share the content. We appreciate all the support. Thank you again out here for the donation on Super Chat. I'm glad everybody enjoyed having Mirko here. We will continue to bring him on the show periodically, as well as obviously Romeo Agresti. I have some players that I'm working on. It is a grind trying to get some players on, ex-players. I've got a female that played against the Juventus women that is currently signed with our college outfit here, which is very, very cool. And I'm going to try to work something out there and get her as a guest on the show as well. So it's going to be good stuff. But everybody, thank you again. Enjoy your Saturdays. We will see you tomorrow on game day. Till then, fino alla fine. Forza Juve. Ciao tutti.